Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here, and you are very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching, I don't do the touching. And welcome to Tuesday's edition of the DC Movie and TV Daily, and this is what's coming up on today's awesome show. Rob Liefeld is going to be going to New York Comic Con to support the Release the Snyder Cut movement, and he's been really vocal on Twitter. There's an article for me to read to you in a moment. The Joker movie has shot up to 89% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, you know me, I don't hold much to the Rotten Tomatoes or any of this shit. But it means something to these idiots and these shills and these Disney and Marvel fans, and it's really triggering them right now, like Scott Mendelson that calls Joker movie a white movie for white people. That is very dangerous. Keep crying those bitter tears, Scott, because I'm enjoying them. And over to DC TV, where rumour is, one of my sources has said they will cancel an Arrowverse TV show every day. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? That wouldn't work. No, every season. So every season, every full season, another one will be cancelled. And I'm going to tell you which one's getting cancelled at the end of this fall when this starts. So I'm going to let you know about that as well. My source is pretty solid, but as you know with sources, they can be wrong. So take it all with a pinch of salt. But this morning, we start off with the very exciting news that Deadpool creator and legend Rob Liefeld is supporting the Snyder Cut. Now, Rob can be a very, very controversial figure. He could say some things that I don't agree with. Amazingly, when I have said something to him on Twitter, he hasn't blocked me yet. I do try and keep it respectful, even if I'm disagreeing with someone. Some people still get triggered and block you, some people don't. Not yet. I think probably because most of the stuff I do is in quote tweets rather than being in a block on a comment section as well. But it's very, very exciting that the Deadpool creator, Rob Liefeld, is backing Release the Snyder Cut. So let's read this article on comicbook.com, and it says Deadpool creator to support Justice League Release the Snyder Cut movement at New York Comic Con. This is massive. Let me tell you why this is more massive than Jason Momoa coming out and saying, I've seen it, it's sick. Jason Momoa is part of the DCEU. Jason Momoa worked with Zack Snyder. He's good friends. He's a little bit biased. It was awesome that he said he watched it and he loved it. It helps. But it doesn't help as much as this. This is more important and this is more relevant. So let's give it a read. Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld, not Liefeld, Liefeld, got that wrong, didn't I? Will be representing the Release the Snyder Cut movement at this year's New York Comic Con. On Twitter, Liefeld said that he'll be sporting a Release the Snyder Cut t-shirt at this year's convention at the Javits Center. Can't wait to rock my Release the Snyder Cut shirt at NYCC. Release the Snyder Cut, Liefeld tweeted. Liefeld's support of the Release the Snyder Cut movement has been chronicled before. The Release the Snyder Cut community announced plans for the New York Comic Con in July, hot off their efforts at San Diego Comic Con, following the huge success of Project Comic Con that helped raise almost $15,000 for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention in the name of Release the Snyder Cut community. We want to continue increasing the hype and spreading the truth about the Snyder Cut of Justice League while spreading awareness for mental health. We will do this by targeting the New York Comic Con 2019. The group's GoFundMe page reads, in San Diego, you helped raise an excess of $26,000 and a lot was achieved, including the funding of a banner flight, a billboard, a bus route, and an ad in the Hollywood Reporter. And the ground team at the convention, we realize that you have given so much and have decided that in New York we can still achieve great buzz whilst having a simpler and more streamlined campaign. Well, there will not be in multiple levels. We have one clear and financial modest plan. Zack Snyder directed Justice League and has continued to look back on the project, releasing storyboard artwork and even trolling Warner Bros. Fans have rallied in support of Snyder's with the Release the Snyder Cut campaign, which hopes to see Snyder's version of the movie finished and released in a similar fashion to Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition. For the extreme measures some of those fans have gone to in their efforts. Oh, sorry, let me read that again. Snyder previously offered his thanks for the extreme measures some of those fans have gone to in their efforts. And it is extreme and it's beautiful, by the way. Can't wait to, yeah, basically, here he is. Can't wait to rock my Release the Snyder Cut shirt. They're just showing the tweet there. Following Ben Affleck's exit as Batman, Snyder posted a farewell to social media that read, there was a time above, Snyder writes, a time before there were perfect things, diamond absolutes, but things failed, things on earth, and what falls is fallen. In the dream, it took me to the light, a beautiful light. Best Batman ever. Thank you, my friend, for blessing me with that fucking glorious chin and amazing art. Now, this is funny, isn't it? Because this was a beautiful farewell to Ben Affleck, wasn't it, as Batman? But it's interesting that some people and some Snyder fans try to infer that Ben and Zack had fallen out, or Ben had been disappointed with him. So that was very interesting. And that's basically the article, right? Actually, I don't even think that bottom bit was part of the article, but I read it anyway. So Rob Liefeld, the Deadpool creator, is actually going to a convention and supporting it. He's putting his name on the Snyder Cut movement. Now, that is big for someone to do that because people can be ridiculed. I think when Release the Snyder Cut first started, we were being ridiculed, weren't we? And big time, especially by those idiotic MCU fans. Not all MCU fans are idiotic, and I quite like the MCU films. I quite enjoy them. But I just don't like the kind of arrogance you get from some of their fans, and Disney fans thinking they have to take down our movies to uphold theirs when their movies are kind of dominating cinema and everything like that. Anyway, back to subject. So Rob Liefeld being behind this is massive. Now, we'll see if this does any good. Look, it's great for the campaign. It's great for the New York Comic Con convention as well, because with what the Release the Snyder Cut movement are doing there is very important. He's going to be there wearing the top. Let's see what this means and how far we can go. There's just been too many petty arguments, too many idiots trying to criticize the San Diego Comic Con for not having a ground team and nonsense like that. And as I said to the people saying this, let's be clear. This is just ordinary people. This isn't a company. You know, nobody's perfect. You can't get everything right. They did their best. They created a beautiful thing that brought in money, that did the bangers. And I think the Release the Snyder Cut movement did a great job at San Diego. And criticising a little thing they may or may not have got wrong is absolutely pathetic and just means you're not part of the movement. You don't care about Zack and Deb and what they lost and how they were treated. And the movie that we lost, you just care about yourselves. And that's all I've got to say about that. So Joker movie has jumped up to 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. And as I said, as I was reading out the headline, that kind of thing isn't important to me. I never go on Rotten Tomatoes. I never look at the scores. That's not how I watch films. I know myself. I know what I want to see and what I don't want to see. That's the way it is now for me. But it is funny because Rotten Tomatoes speaks some of these people's language who have decided to put down DC movies like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad in the past. So it's great to see Joker, which is a film that all the critics, mostly, I think apart from one or two idiots, absolutely loved at the Venice Film Festival. So I think that was a very clever move by Todd Phillips and Warner Brothers to take it there and for it to be allowed to be there, because what it does is, because once you get those critics being so complimentary about it, and the 8-minute standing ovation didn't hurt either, it's very difficult, as I said last week, for Grace Randolph and John Campea and these idiots to come out with their reviews and try and be negative and go for the movie. Because the only people really who listen to them are actually MCU fans. Anyone who actually pays Grace Randolph any attention and says, oh yeah, Grace, I love your opinions, you're right. As I said before, congratulations to her. She's one of the few women doing this on YouTube. She's very good at it. She's very passionate. She's got great quality. She's good at what she does. But her messages are always very mixed. And to me, sometimes I think she goes after certain audiences to get more clicks. So I don't really trust her, to be honest, but I respect what she does and the way that she does it. So very good news. The Joker movie is very, very big. Very, very big. It's, they're talking about 100 million now. And I said to you, it could be more than that. And I've said to you why. Because I think people who shouldn't be allowed in an R-rated film are going to be watching it, because let me tell you something. I don't know how it works in America, guys, But let's put it this way: when you walk into the cinema in the UK, in a cinema in the UK, I know my local one, it's not very well staffed. Basically, the kid can stand at the back and you buy the tickets. No one's going to cut. There's no police or anything. You're living in a dream world. So when you say to me this film can't make $1 billion because not enough people are going to go and see it, everyone's still going to go and see this film. You can go and see an R-rated film if you're underage. You can do it. Nobody gives a shit, right? So basically, this film is going to be the most successful R-rated film of all time. We've got the critical kind of thing from the critics we care about, that we respect, not the idiots on YouTube and Twitter. I'm talking about real critics, highbrow critics, because what the Joker movie has become now is a highbrow delight. The highbrow media love this film because they love Joaquin Phoenix and they already loved Todd Phillips. It's not just the Hangover he did. He's done a lot of good things. And I mean, his CV is not, oh my God, every film made $1 billion. I mean, Grace Randolph judges directors on that, but I don't. I judge directors on their quality and their stories. And ultimately, this guy's a very clever guy. And he's the one who came to Walter Hamada and Warner Brothers and said, let's do this Black Label. And I think, you know what? That's just, for me, that's just awesome. And as I did in my second video of yesterday when I said, they're creating a new universe here in the Black Label. That's what it is. We're going to see, we've already seen a new Gotham with the Joker movie. We're going to see a new Metropolis. They can do whatever they want. And that's what's so exciting. And as I said, giving you the parallels yesterday as well, the DCEU and this, it's very, very interesting because I am a fan of dark movies. I don't hate lighter movies. You see, for me, I'm not like this generation. It's not that or this. It's making good movies. And excuse me, very early, just come in and I've got a frog in my throat. Yes, I want to see good fucking movies. But ultimately, for me, dark, more compelling films are more interesting to me. And it is exciting the direction Warner Brothers are going in. But basically, there's a balance within the DCEU. And then you've got the Black Label. And as I say, something new and exciting is happening. And as Todd Phillips said himself, it's a place that Disney can't go. And that's what makes all of this Joker success all the more sweeter. Now let's talk about DC TV. Now Arrowverse has been going. Smallville was cancelled in 2011, if I was right. So I think 2012 was it? 2013 we had Arrowverse commence with Arrow. So we know we're about to see the final season of Arrow. So what I'm hearing from my source is they're going to cancel a show every year. So apparently, and this will be really shocking to all of you, the next show to get cancelled is The Flash. So why would they do that? They're going for the more senior shows. The whole point is Berlanti wants his Arrowverse franchise to look like a really successful franchise. And to a point, it has been. The DVDs and Blu-rays do really well. People watch them on streaming as well. The ratings on the CW are pretty shit. I mean, it's kind of interesting if you look at the kind of ratings that the first two seasons of The Flash and Arrow got. They were massive. They were breaking records. It was just sensational. But then the quality went down. But somehow Berlanti was able to keep his TV shows, his faltering TV shows, his political TV shows, which should have been superhero shows, by the way, on the air. So this is a great plan for them. So The Flash will go off the air at the end of this season. Then it will be, what's next? Legends of Tomorrow. Then what you've got after that? You've got, Black Lightning. I mean, he's still behind Black Lightning. But there's quite a few shows on there. You've got Supergirl. I mean, I think after Legends it was Supergirl. So probably Supergirl will be one of the last ones to be cancelled just because they want that show to look like it's been a success, and it hasn't. They've really struggled because of them. They failed the character of Supergirl. That could have been an awesome superhero show, but they decided to bring in their politics, their gender statements, and for me, they've weakened a great idea. And Supergirl is a great idea done properly. And I think Melissa Benoist is such a good actor. She's a feminist, by the way, as well. Or she claims to be a feminist. But this is the point. This is the problem. When you're so focused on the politics, you're not as focused on creating an awesome and epic TV show. Look at the Batwoman trailers we've seen so far. Very problematic. So expect to see an Arrowverse show cancelled every year. So that will drag it out a few years. But obviously, the new DC TV that's happening now is on the DC Universe streaming service. That's the future. Titans returns. There's Doom Patrol will be back for a second season too. Very sadly, no Swamp Thing, but James Wan will be producing a Swamp Thing movie universe, so that is exciting. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but I can definitely confirm to you that's what's happening. So what do you think of Rob Liefeld backing the Snyder Cut? Going to New York Comic Con with a Release the Snyder Cut t-shirt. I really need to get me one of those, don't I? Someone send me one. I'm in Cyprus, you know. I don't know, I'd love to. Maybe if you send me one, I'll wear it, right? I don't know how to get these things. Anyway, I'm a big supporter of Release the Snyder Cut. I would literally do anything to see Zack's version of that movie because we all know it's going to be epic. And eventually, let's hope we see it.